I'm Loren Steffi with the Houston Chronicle, and welcome to another edition of Friday Bookshelf. Today I'm going to be talking about Pound Foolish, The Dark Side of the Personal Finance Industry, a new book by Helene Olin. Olin was a personal finance writer for the Los Angeles Times. She wrote a column called Money Makeover, in which she would look at people's personal finances, bring in a financial planner to give them some advice, and write about the changes that they were supposed to make. Over time, she began to question the value of the entire personal finance industry, what she calls the personal finance industrial complex. And the book really deals with our perceptions of money, our perceptions of personal finance, and the fact that we're getting an awful lot of bad advice out there from people that are trying to tell us how to solve our financial problems. She devotes entire chapters to the likes of Susie Ormond and Jim Cramer and Dave Ramsey and other people that try to tell you that there's an easy solution to your problems or that there's one way to fix your problems. And I think that's one of the most important points of the book. She drives home repeatedly the point that if these financial gurus had the answers, they would soon be out of a job. If it was simply a question of telling people this is what you need to do, then people would do it, and these guys wouldn't have anything left to give us advice about. The problem, of course, is that we're often undone by our own human nature. What she found was that in many cases, when she followed up with the people she had written about in her column in Money Makeover, she went back and she found that they hadn't followed the plan that was prescribed for them. In many cases, unexpected things came up, and it changed the financial path of their life. The other thing that she spends a lot of time talking about in the book is the broader context, and this is something that often gets left out in discussing personal finance. The economy has changed dramatically in the last 30 years, and a good portion of the gains in income have been achieved by the top 1% of the population. Most of the rest of us have seen far smaller gains in income, and what that tells you is that despite all of our best efforts to plan for retirement, we may not be able to succeed, even if we do everything right. After all, we've also, during the same time of this great income shift, this broadening gap of inequality, we've also seen a change in the way our retirement is planned for. We no longer have defined benefit pension plans, for example. We have 401ks. We're supposed to do it all ourselves, and we're supposed to believe that we can do it all ourselves, and if we can't, if something goes wrong, we've convinced ourselves that it's all our fault. The book makes the point that it may be possible to do everything right and still not be able to adequately plan for retirement. After all, in 2008, most professional money managers didn't see the financial crisis coming. If the guys who are paid to do this can't figure it out, how are we as individuals supposed to figure it out? So when she gets done taking some of these gurus to task, Olin turns her sights on the future, what needs to be done about it. She still believes personal finance is terribly important. People need to become more financially literate, and they need to understand their options. But she wants to strip away a lot of the complexity and the mythology that has developed around this industry, and as she puts it, have an honest discussion about money. And that's really the focus of the last chapter of the book. The entire purpose of Pound Foolish is to try to change the way we talk about money so that we can come up with more realistic strategies for how to manage our own finances. It's a very different way of looking at personal finance. It's definitely worth a read. The book again, Pound Foolish by Helene Olin. For the Houston Chronicle, I'm Loren Steffi.